Hi guys, so I know I've taken a little bit of a break from videos recently, like the last week or so, but guess what? I am back! Anyway, yeah, so the reason I took a break is because I wanted to prepare myself for what is likely to be one heck of a next month. I have exams, I have my first psychiatrist appointment, and I want to do the trans 30-day challenge. Yes, you heard me right, 30-day challenge. I am going to answer one question a day for 30 days. And that is going to take a heck of a lot of determination. Because, like I said in one of my old videos, I hate the fact that this is reversed. Old videos. I'm kind of lazy, and so making a video every day for 30 days, I'm probably going to be exhausted by it. But anyway, yeah, so break's over. I'll give you a quick update on what has happened recently, and then I will get on with it. So, recently, name change. Fantastic, everybody knows now. I've decided that the 20th of May, from this point onwards, will be my birthday. Bit like a birthday, but birthday, because it's, I thought it sounded cool, and I changed my name as effective as of the 20th of May, and that's... Yeah, I'm a bit of a loser. Big deal. Anyway, yeah, so that's the biggest thing that's happened recently. Psychiatrist appointment in about 6 days now. I will definitely take a hiatus from this whole 30-day thing, or at least give you an update after that to let you know how that went. And that's about it. Anyway, yeah, on to today's question. When did you realise the term transgender referred to you? Quick disclaimer before I go into first realising that kind of thing, is that I don't actually have very many memories from before I was 10, so if I realised at 8 years old and then forgot again because of forgetting most of my childhood, I can't talk about that. Any memories I do have, I have no idea whether they're true or not, so I can't talk meaningfully from before secondary school, sort of age, so about 11 years old. That said, I do have a very disconcerting possible memory of trying to pee stood up using one of those cardboard holders that you get in the middle of loo rolls. Feel free to laugh, most of my friends did. I would say I first realised I was trans a lot later than I ought to have done, looking at all the pointers that were there. When I was in primary school, I was in a class with 5 girls and 13 boys. And I just played with the boys instead of sitting chatting at the corner of the playground. That maybe should have been an alarm bell, but when you've got that sort of imbalance in numbers, it's, I'm not into chatting. Girls weren't playing tag and stuff and football, or soccer to you Americans, and I wanted to do that, so I just played with the boys, and nobody really questioned it, so I didn't think it was anything abnormal. My parents kind of were gently pushing me into femininity a little bit, and I felt uncomfortable with that. But again, I just thought it was, I'm a tomboy, that's pretty normal, right? Yeah, I mean, they had to bribe me to wear a skirt once for their wedding vow renewal, and they encouraged makeup, which I was generally pretty against. But again, I just thought that was normal kid behaviour, just, tomboy behaviour, not trans behaviour. I did go through a really gothic stage as well because it was less obviously gendered clothing. I'd often swap clothes with the guys, and they would wear girls' clothes and I would wear guys' clothes. Not that I think that things should be gendered like that, but whatever, So that was something that kind of disguised it again slightly, but if you looked at it, looking back, I can kind of see it. After puberty hit, I was depressed a lot of the time, but I could never work out why. I just felt rubbish. I mean, I hated that visitor that came every now and then, But then again, I figured that most people hated that, right? Because it was uncomfortable and mucky and yucky and ew and ew. Yeah, and I mostly avoided my chest because, I just didn't like it. Fittings were a nightmare. Mum took me a couple of times to get officially measured, and I hated it. In the end, she ended up doing it because I just couldn't deal with a stranger touching, even being near that area. I'd cry an awful lot, and it was just awful. So, again, that was maybe a sign, but I didn't take it. I think the first time I realised something was maybe wrong was about just over a year ago at my granddad's funeral. the night before we went shopping for some clothes, and I had a fight with my dad about whether or not I would be allowed to wear a men's jacket. In the end, after a lot of tantrums, I'm embarrassed to say from me, we reached the compromise of a men's pair of trousers and a women's jacket, and I was uncomfortable with that, but it was better. And after all, it wasn't about me, it was about paying respect to my granddad, who wouldn't have approved of me wearing a men's suit anyway, so but yeah, that whole incident kind of got me subconsciously thinking that something isn't right here. I didn't handle it the best. I panicked and started trying to teach myself to be girly. Obviously, I started trying to wear more girly tops, wearing more makeup, doing my hair nicer. Yeah, my hair used to be long. And everybody else responded really well. I actually had what I would consider really good friends with quite a few people, and I fitted in for the first time that I can remember. I wasn't just friends with other misfits. I was friends. People liked me. It was a novelty for me, but I was still unhappy. In fact, I was possibly even more unhappy than I was beforehand, because it felt weird. Every time somebody thought I looked nice, I would think, thank you, but then I would think, but it feels weird, I'm not sure I like it. I started having a lot of discussions, completely unrelated, with my friends about gender and about that kind of thing, and obviously there had been somebody at my school who transitioned a few years before me, but I started thinking, and I just started thinking, okay, what am I genderqueer? What is it? Because I don't have a problem as such with my junk, and I thought that was something that everybody had to have a problem with. I didn't really understand well enough. I looked into it a lot more, and I read about binding, and I thought I'd try that, and I did. Oh my god, the change was almost instantaneous. I felt so much better, even though it was uncomfortable physically. I can't explain how it just fitted. I still didn't really know what was going on. I was just like, this was sort of February time, and I didn't really know what was going on, and I was still kind of scared, and I was like, no, I'm not trans, I just don't like my boobs. There's something else. It's not this, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. That was my reaction. I think the thing that made it okay for me to be trans, and that sort of made me accept it properly finally, was my friend's reaction when I went to go visit her at her university. I'd been buying the whole time I was there, and there was just one evening we were both sat on a computer each. I was on my laptop, she was on hers, and she asked me about pronouns, whether I was still okay with she, or whether I'd prefer something different, whether I'd prefer changing my name and that kind of thing, and we talked about it honestly, and I don't know whether it showed or not, I actually got quite emotional at that point. It was soon after that I started trying to find the right name for me and that kind of thing, but that was the first time I accepted the term transgender would apply to me. That trip to Nottingham that evening, I think, was the first time I accepted it completely. After that, it was a case of semantics, finding out whether I was right or not. As it is, yeah, I was right, I am trans, and I'm okay with that now. I would say, looking back, my granddad's funeral was the trigger that started me thinking about it. The conversation with all of my friends was what made me realise, actually, yeah, I was trans, and that conversation with possibly one of the most important people in my life was the time that I actually accepted it. So yeah, that's the story of how I first realised I was trans. A little bit long-winded, full of denial, a little bit heartbreaking. At least it was for me. I don't know whether it was heartbreaking in my telling, probably not. But anyway, yeah, so that's the story. I will be back tomorrow with answering another question, which will be all about names. Isn't that exciting? Yeah, anyway, so I will see you guys soon. Bye.